to the 2020 EmpowerMint Conference. Hello from the exec team.
My name is Josh Foster, co-founder and CEO.
And I'm Sharon Pearson, co-founder and CTO.
And my name is Marquita Amwa, the editor-in-chief. We're excited to share this dynamic panel with you today.
Please feel free to take notes and join us in the live breakout room to debrief after the panel concludes. Hi, everybody. Thank you for joining us again. We are here with the EmpowerMint 2020 conference. This time we have another really great panel for you in the develop track. We have Jazmine and Crystal today. Jazmine, could you give us a short introduction of who you are and just tell us about yourself?
Sure. My name is Jazmine, and I currently am like a finance guru, if you will. I help single moms with the foundations of budgeting and how to pretty much start their financial journey, whether it's paying off debt or saving money, or just understanding what a budget is and how to put a budget together. I found like a really deep love for this. About 2 years ago, I began budgeting myself because enough was enough, and it was time for me to kind of get on the other side of right as it relates to finances. And so in that journey, I have been able to pay off over about $20,000 worth of debt. I've also been able to save as well, about the same $20,000 as well. But there are a lot of different things that I think single moms go through, just starting with the mindset and believing that you are capable and very able with no assistance, no financial assistance, to be able to make your dreams come true on the financial spectrum. So that is a quick intro of me and what I love.
Awesome, thank you. Crystal, could you share with us about yourself, please?
Well, my name is Crystal Williams, and I'm the CEO of Manny's Mom Fitness. And wow, I'm trying to see which avenue I should actually take. I'm the CEO of Manny's Mom Fitness, but I also run a second business, which is the Crystal Williams platform. And that platform is a platform that actually helps up-and-coming entrepreneurs, or even just those who need another stream of income. And I teach and coach them how to monetize on social media. Like Jazmine said, one of the biggest things that we as a people need is financial literacy. She's actually my budget coach. She actually put me on the straight and narrow path as well. And after being able to pay off all of my consumer debt, after starting my fitness business, I realized I can help someone physically, but unless our people are actually helped financially, we're not going to grow. And so that's what led me to start the CW platform, where now I help, honestly, minorities start either a business online or even monetize and create other streams of income.
Awesome, thank you. Well, again, we're really happy to have both of you here. We're looking forward to diving into these questions on here. So let's start off with the first question. I'd like to ask this question based on the track that we're in. So this is the develop track. And we want to kind of figure out what your develop origin story is. So basically, where did the roots of your passion to develop each of your businesses begin? Either of you can take this question on first, but we're looking forward to hearing that beginning part of your journey.
I'll go. So I would say the beginning part, let's see. I would say actually it starts with Jazmine. So I'm a single mom. So she, as you heard from her introduction, she helps single mothers get on track with their finances. And I was one of those single moms who was paycheck to paycheck, robbing Peter to pay Paul. I think when she helped me out, I had about $1,200 out in payday loans. I was that person. And so I knew there had to be another way. So first, she helped me with my mindset, and I had to actually learn how to save $1,000. Like that was like the hardest part of the beginning, is actually learning how to save. She taught me how to save. And then from teaching me how to save, we realized, okay, yeah, you can save, but if you want to pay off this debt, you're going to need another stream of income. And that's what caused me to launch Manny's Mom Fitness. I launched Manny's Mom Fitness, and as I was doing the business, and which is now the 6-figure business online, I realized, okay, this is great. I'm a single mom. I can do whatever I want to do. I work for myself. I'm my own boss. I was able to leave corporate America, but I'm not helping anyone other than lose weight. And so I developed a passion for getting people to see this type of freedom. I wake up, I plan my schedule, I get to help people, whether if I charge them or for free, but I get to actually change the trajectory of their lives by helping them see that you need multiple streams of income. And so I would say, honestly, for me to be where I am, it is really because of Jazmine. She got me to see the value of what money really is and the freedom that comes with it, the options that come with having enough to be able to pay all of your bills, save, buy whatever you need, and just literally prosper. So that's my beginning. Thank you, Jazz.
You're welcome. And you'll hear in my story where Crystal has helped me as well. And this is why it's very important for you to have a circle of people around you who encourage you and inspire you to do better in your life. So let me first start off saying by where my passion has come from. And I don't know if I'm able to go spiritual, but there were, probably about 6 years ago where I heard God tell me that I was going to have a lane in finances. Now, when he told me this, my finances were jacked up, let me tell you. Even my older brother was like, how you gonna help people with their finances and you ain't got yours together, right? So, I was like, yeah, maybe. So I stopped even pursuing that dream. I had worked at Wells Fargo, I worked at a bank, and I just found it very fascinating about how money works. But I moved on, and I continued to mismanage my money. It then about 2 years ago, 2017, it was in December. I got paid on a Friday. I was broke on Monday. And it wasn't because I was paying bills or putting money away towards savings or anything like that. It had gotten to a point where it was just that bad. And I just told myself enough was enough. I had the feeling of not being able to buy gifts for my daughter, even though we know it's not about that, but it was a desire that I had. I, would go visit family and I didn't have any gifts to offer or provide or bless them with. So at that point, I was just like, enough is enough and I need to figure this thing out. So I self-educated myself on how to complete a budget. YouTube was my friend. I found out what cash envelopes were. I found out what sinking funds were. I found out how to do a zero-based budget. And even at that time, I didn't think I was able to save $1,000. But I kind of went cold turkey and I was just like, I can do this. I took a $2 notebook, some 50-cent paper, and I just made it work. And it became a passion of mine. In 3 months, I had paid off $6,000 worth of debt. And I didn't know it until I looked back like, wow. And I would talk to my friends and, there were dinners that I had to, stop going to and luncheons and things like that, that I just wouldn't indulge in. And so as I continued on in my journey, I didn't see a space where I saw single mothers in. Yeah. I saw a lot of married people. I saw a lot of maybe even single moms, but they got child support. So I saw a lot of this that I saw on in social media as well as on YouTube. And I was just like, I don't see me. I need to see me, and I need to show other moms like me who receive nothing. When I say no support, I mean no financial support as well as no physical support, which I think is also very important as it relates to finances. And when we talk about making additional streams of income and how you can make that work, because the often excuse is, I'm a single mom, I can't budget. The other excuse is, I'm a single mom, how can I have a second stream of income? I can't do OT, I can't do, so those are the things that I hear. And so it just became a love of mine to educate and help other single moms. And now that I have launched, I have consulted with Crystal, who is amazing at what she does, and has helped me even to launch Budget Treasures, which I am the CEO of Budget Treasures, and offering essential budgeting products that will help anybody to be able to manage their money. And so when you start going into entrepreneurship, it's a totally different beast. Okay. I was just giving stuff away for free. And she like, look, girl, listen,
Get your coin.
listen, you working, that's great, but I need you to get some extra coins. And I'm telling you, the feeling of making money while you sleep is nothing like it. So, I attribute that to Crystal, and it's a lifestyle, and there's no other way to live life. And so that's where my passion comes from. And I just will continue to do this. And now I am fulfilling the will of God, as he told me about 6 years ago. He just had to take me through every feeling that I could feel so that I could be able to minister and help someone else.
Right. And I'll say this, because if I wouldn't have seen you do it, because you represent me, you're a single mom. I know you had no help as well. I knew that we don't get child support. We don't have anyone watching our kids. So when I saw you do it, that made me say, if she can do it, I can do this.
Yeah, that's huge. I think two things that both of you touched on that's really important is, one, seeing yourself, and that representation is huge. That's a lot of what we try to do through men, is be able to have people have voices so that others that look like them, that are like them, can be able to see themselves and see that it's possible. And I think that's huge. And another thing is having that circle around you that you kind of feed into it. It's also how you were both able to feed into each other's business at a certain point in time. Jazmine was able to help you, Crystal, to get your finances right so you can exceed in your business and learn how to do it.
Right.
And fed that right back into Jazmine, showing her how to grow her business. And I think that's two things that's really important, is one, having representation, and then also finding that team around you, because you don't have to be an expert at every single thing you do. If you're an expert at one thing, you can find other people that can help you in those others. And I think that's really good.
That's actually true. And I would say one of the biggest things that I did learn with doing that, with working with someone laterally versus me hiring someone else out to help me, was it was very personable. She understood me. I felt as if she cared. Because I went in with the mindset of, okay, I'm going to get a second stream of income. The more money I make, I'm going to be great. And that's not true. You can make more money all day long, but until you actually change your mindset, you're going to still be broke. And I think we started out when I was at $19.50, and I went up to $29, and I was still broke. So it took me her changing my mindset, but I think she was able to tap into that because I saw myself in her versus me hiring someone to help me that I didn't even know.
Yeah, that's huge. And yeah, I think that's really good to think about it from the beginning of your journey that way, to kind of look back and see how that process has happened. And you guys both kind of touched on your different experiences that brought you to where you are. Want to dig deeper into that. Jazmine, we could start with you on how have you leveraged your personal experiences to be able to become this impactful budget and debt coach, and just helping people to be able to go through what you did and make it through. How you leverage like specific experiences that you had to be able to have this impact?
Well, I would say for the most part, I've leveraged my experience in just seriously being able to start Budget Treasures and to be able to pour into other women on different platforms. If it's not on social media, then it's, well, social media including like YouTube, it's through like my church or just friends and family. So I pretty much leveraged in that way. I just want to make sure that I'm always able to reach. I don't want to get to a point where there are some financial gurus that are so, we'll say like the Dave Ramsey, right? So his method works, right? And it works for some, I believe. But then I feel like he is in a different, how do I say that? He's like, even though he went through the steps, I think that now that he is where he is in life, it might be a little bit more difficult for him to reach someone who is just starting, if that makes sense. His mind frame is, you just got to do it. You got the baby steps, you follow the baby steps, and there it is. But it's not that easy to follow the baby steps when you have certain things that are that are probably, causing you to not be able to follow those baby steps as easily as him, i.e. being a Black woman, being Black, period. Those are some of the things that we have to deal with as African Americans, and that beast is different than someone else. So I'm not going to make as much money corporately, right? That someone else, my peer, might make because they're a different nationality. It is what it is. And so my struggle will be a little bit different. And so I just want to make sure that I'm able to speak to those and say, okay, yeah, corporately you might not be able to, but now there's a way that you can launch your side hustle. Or if you want to be like Crystal and quit corporate America altogether, you can do it. And just be able to continue to, reach those financial limits and just really build wealth for your family, your children. Right. And so I just, I use my own personal experiences just to be able to help others. That's pretty much how I would answer that question.
I like that. That's good. Crystal, how about for yourself? As you're saying that success comes in so many different forms, like the successes that you two had are on different platforms, but the thing that ties it together, I feel like, is it all has a foundation of your own personal experiences. So how have you leveraged your experiences to be able to develop a six-figure business online and be able to help other people do the same?
Well, I would say, and for me, I'm like very transparent on my platforms. And I think that is a huge part of what I've leveraged to get where I am. Kind of like Jazmine said in the beginning, people see themselves in me. I have a lady that I work with this morning. She reached out to me and she started a business last week. To give you guys an example, she reached out and she says, hey, I started a business last week. I am selling workout plans. I know you have a lot of followers. I know you make a lot of money on here, but would you do a collaboration with me? I can't pay you, but you'll wear my clothes and I'll give you free clothes. Now, mind you, I get these all day, every day on social media. But what stuck out to me is when she said, I'm doing it because I gave birth to a baby in May and I don't want to have to put my child in daycare. And so I'm trying to start a stream. She started literally last week. I'm trying to start a stream of income so that way I can be able to stay home with her. And I saw your story, which is, I wanted more time with my son. I'm a single parent. So I leverage that because people literally, there's so many women that are like me that are going through what I went through, where you have no one and you have to literally fend for yourself and you want more time with your children, but you have to do all this overtime because you got to pay the bills. It's just, it wasn't a win-win. And so when I heard that, I was like, oh my goodness, that's a no-brainer. I'm going to help you. I'm helping you for free. We're going to figure this out. And we were up this morning trying to get her going because that's a big part of my businesses is literally being transparent. Everyone, if you follow me, you know my story. I want people to see how realistic it really is. I was born in South Central LA and we grew up poor. So if I can do this where I manage a six-figure business and I have other businesses, you can too. I got my degree last year. It took me 10 years to get my BA. So I think what I've leveraged is my story, is my truth and living in my truth and being as transparent as possible.
That's awesome. Yeah, we definitely want to thank you both for sharing that because I think it is important to share what your own personal journey has been with the leverage, how you're able to leverage those things, and being transparent is huge. I think being able to connect with people on a more personal level, just like you touched on, Jazmine, where it'll connect more so than someone who's already at such a high level of success that's just so far removed from what the normal everyday person is going through. So I think having that closer level of connection is really big.
Right. Because Dave Ramsey would have never got me.
Yeah. Doesn't look like y'all at all. So.
And no. But it's something that I hear a lot, like even for example, just education is so important to maybe piggyback and give an example. 2 days ago, or 3 days ago, I uploaded my budget that that I created for myself for these next 2 weeks. Now my situation has changed where I no longer have mortgage. I no longer have bills because I'm transitioning to purchase a home. And so I'm living with family now. But some of the comments that I received was, oh, this is not a real person. Oh, what person don't have, rent and bills and things like that. And so I laughed, but then I always take a step back and I say, this is good, because that means that there are people out there who believe that either A, you don't need to budget because you don't have all of those things, or B, your budget is not significant to me because I have rent, mortgage, and things like that. And so my goal is to educate that I don't care if you make $100 a week, you need to budget that $100 and tell that $100 where to go, or I guarantee you're going to be broke. But if you budget that 100, if you're intentional about what you want to do with that 100, I guarantee you're going to be more richer than the person who doesn't budget. And so it's just really educating and changing the minds of what is out there. Some people think, oh, I don't make enough money to budget. I hear the craziest things. And so I'm on a mission to transform the minds of a person who was like me or who was like Crystal, who, yes, when I first heard Dave Ramsey, he said, save $1,000. I'm like, boy, you must don't know.
I can't do that. I can't do that.
From the east side of Los Angeles. Ain't no way I'm saving $1,000. Are you crazy? And now I can save $1,000 in probably 2 weeks. It's easy, right? But it did not happen until I was able to see and hear, and then I can see with my eyes, and then I can make it tangible. Like, let me go get this. And then that's where the side hustle comes from. That's where, you just grinding. You're grinding, literally.
That's good. That's good. Yeah, I definitely agree with that. Being able to see it happen in front of you definitely makes it a lot more relatable, for sure. I think that what's really good about learning about people's journey is really good living in the moment, knowing what you're doing right now, where you came from. But it's also not only important, but I think fun too, to kind of look, and if you could fast forward 30 years from now, look back over the last 3 decades of legacy that you just created, what would that picture look like? Like, how would you paint that? This is always one of the big questions that people say, it's going to take me a while to think, but I think it's fun to just dive in. What's that first impact of legacy that you see yourself making over a 3-decade period?
I'll let you go, Crystal. I would say 7 years old.
I know, right? I would say my legacy would be more leaders. I put a post up a couple of weeks ago on the CW platform, and I put, the purpose of me being a leader is to create more leaders, not more followers. And that will be my legacy, that I've educated so many other people that now they are literally doing the same thing that I did. They're building it for themselves. They're teaching their children, their children's children. They're teaching family members. They're teaching people that they don't even know about creating multiple streams and how their whole lives have changed simply because they didn't just settle. I'm not saying quit your job, but they didn't just settle for one stream of income.
Jazmine, what about yourself?
Yeah, so I agree. Definitely being able to look back and see how many lives have been impacted by my story and by my message and by my teachings. Being able to change the financial structure for my personal family, and that poverty will no longer be the story of my family. But it is very rewarding when you hear those people say, man, you don't know how much you helped me by posting this, or you don't know how much your product has helped me by managing my dollars. Wow, you just opened that up for me. I didn't realize that that's what budgeting was. And so being able to hear those testimonials when I look back, and just being able to impact the Black culture and any culture for that, point. But I think we are so far behind that
Yes.
it takes a lot, that we have a lot of catching up to do.
Yeah.
And so just to be able to help our communities is just, it's overwhelmingly rewarding. And so when I'm 67 and I'm looking back, I definitely want to still be impacting lives, but just to know that I've impacted single moms who say, I'm gonna do this no matter what's going on in my life. I'm gonna make it happen. I'm gonna manage my money better. I'm no longer gonna live paycheck to paycheck. I'm gonna create a legacy for my children and my family, and I'm gonna be free.
That's good. I like that. I think,
Can I ask one question? Jazmine, at 67, are you gonna start taking trips again? Because she been on this budget, y'all, forever, and she don't go nowhere. All she
I'm
do is
taking
save.
a trip. I would always hear people say, oh, I cash flow the trip. I cash flow the trip. And I'm like, what does that mean? I never know. I would look it up. I would Google it. I would do everything, try to find out what does cash flow a trip mean. And I just got to a point, I started asking people like, you said you're going to cash flow a trip. What does that mean? And so it's just basically saving for the trip. And so, I committed to saving for Crystal's birthday, which is in 6 months. So then that way, when I take this trip in 6 months, I'm not taking it from my paycheck. My bills will be paid as I'm on this trip. I'll be able to eat good when I'm on the trip. I'll be able to buy souvenirs when I'm on the trip, and I'll even be able to give a birthday gift. It's not going to be like in the past where I took these trips and was broke when I came home, could barely eat. I'm like, oh, Kim, I don't want to eat this because I don't have enough money. Or, those trips, So we've all been on them. We got a couple in rooms, we got to make our dollars stretch. And so I wanted to make sure that when I go on a trip that I'm able to freely have fun. I want to have a good time and not be strapped by, I can't do this because I only have so much money in my bank account, so I'm gonna sit out on this excursion. It won't be because of money. It'll probably be because I'm scared, but it'll be for that reason. And so I think it's very important that when we do go on trips, that we plan for those trips. We know we're going to go on a trip, for the most part. And those, us here in LA, we like, oh, on Friday, we like, let's go to Vegas, and those are the ones where it's just like, you come back talking about, oh, sis, can I borrow? No, who told you to go to Vegas? Like,
Or how about when they owe you money, but you see them in Vegas? You're like,
yes, talk about it. Okay, yes, that is a bill. That's debt. You owe people, that is debt. Pay your debt.
So if you're watching this and you owe somebody money, at least don't post your trip on social media so we don't know.
Or block the person.
Yeah. Gotta send that to your close friends only. That's good. I like that. We have some more time. There's a curveball question I would like to throw to everyone when we have some time left that neither of you know about, but it's a fun one. It's if you could pick one person, alive or dead, to work on one project or venture or business or something with, who would it be and what would that project be? And it's why don't it be rapid? The first person you think of and the first thing you could do. Oh,
I'm working with Jesus. I'm working with Jesus Christ. And we are going to save souls. I feel like, I'll be honest, as much as I'm passionate about making money and helping financially, I've always wanted to take a time period of my life to just serve, because I feel like servitude is the beginning of everything. So if I could work with him and just saving souls and be side by side with him every single day,
You want to be one of the disciples, huh?
I wouldn't care about no bills. I ain't got to pay no bills. I got to do nothing. And he's going to make the loaves grow and the fishes grow. I'll be every day.
Disciples.
Right. We're raising the dead together. I would say Jesus.
That was one I wasn't expecting to hear, and you're definitely the first one to say that. No one.
Like, how do you top that, right? How
That's
do you
good.
top that?
That's good.
How do you top that?
God.
Yeah, and you
God,
can't pick God, so.
Yeah, God. I work with God. All right, God, how we gonna do this? Let me see. Who would I work with?
And it doesn't have to be anyone that's in your own industry. It could be something completely different. We got people that have nothing to do with music pick Tupac and said they would do a speaking tour with Tupac across the country in front of children to help motivate them. So it could be something that you haven't even done before, just something that would be fun for you.
Oh my God, I'm still like.
Yes, Crystal has never raised nobody from the dead, so you could say whatever you want.
The only person I would say that I would like to work with now, which I kind of have worked with a little bit, just on a platform, is Bola Succumbi, which is the she wrote Clever Girl Finance. She's the CEO of Clever Girl Finance, and I had the opportunity to be on her podcast, and I was just really thrilled that I was able to be on that platform to talk about my journey, and the way it all happened was just kind of like, whoa, like I was a little bit starstruck, but not so much because it's just not me. But I was just like, wow, God, the way that it was set up, I know this is you. I read her book, and I did like an online book club, not even expecting her to notice me, and she noticed me, and then she offered me to do like a book giveaway. And so I did that, and this is all in the when I say very beginning of my journey, very beginning. I don't even think I had 1,000 followers.
Nope, you didn't.
On Instagram. And so I'm just like, wow, she sees that what I'm doing is valuable, like it was all from the heart. It's always from the heart. And so she reached out to me again, was like, I would like for you to be on my podcast. And I was like, me? Like, are you sure? Did you really look at my page? But it was just a testament that what I'm doing is right. So I would just say, just working with key players in my industry, and for me to also be fed and continue to learn. Like, there is a lot more stuff I need to learn, like investing and stuff like that. I really want to get into that, but the basics and the foundation is important. And so I would say the project that we would work on is probably just like Crystal, like maybe like some type of tour where we go into neighborhoods where it's a lot of poverty, because I know people do these tours, but they're talking to people who got money and stuff. Like, I want to go to the neighborhoods where they're like, budget, what? Like, I never even heard that word before. Like, I want to go into the projects. I want to, because that's where I'm not from the projects, but I'm from down the street from the projects. And so, in these communities, we don't hear about finances and things like that. So I would love to do a trap finance tour, somewhere you just going into these communities where you don't hear that often, and you're able to impact the ghetto.
I like that, the TFT tour, trap finance tour. I hear you, Jazz.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, that sounds like that's something that could be coming real soon. So you got to start working on that. Crystal, it might take you a little bit of time to start raising people from the dead. But so in the meantime, you can help out Jazmine on her trap finance.
Please. We're going to bring Jesus with us. We're going to bring him with us.
There we go. That's good. Well, yeah, thank you both. This was great. Being able to learn more about both of your journeys and seeing how you've been able to impact people through the development of your businesses. I think that's really huge for people to be able to see that and hear that and know that that's something they can do as well. And so as we close out, I want to know if either of you have any closing thoughts that you have, any closing gems that you want to leave, or even also if you want to plug something, you can plug a product, an event, or anything like that. It's time to amplify your voices and your platform.
Well, I would say, if anything, is if you're thinking about going into entrepreneurship or even starting another stream of income, don't give in to fear. I started my whole even doing everything I'm doing now. I was supposed to launch September of 2018. Jazmine knew about my blueprint. We talked about it earlier that year, and I never did it. It took me from September of 18. I drug my feet all the way until May of 2019 to actually launch my business. And so now, here we are a year later, I have a 6-figure business. But what if I would have started sooner? How many more lives would I have changed sooner? It's possible that I could have left my job sooner. I could have even more time with my son, but I gave into fear. And I feel like when I talk to my clients on the CW platform, their biggest thing is I'm afraid. People are going to laugh at me. People are going to see my products and think that it's a joke, it's a sham. I don't really know what I'm doing. I just know it works for me, but can I help other people? Whatever your forte is in regards to your business or your side streams, just know that you can do it. Believe in yourself, even when no one else believes in you, because I had no support starting off, but I kept going. Compound interest is real. What you invest today, you will reap later, I promise you, but you have to be consistent. If you need any help with growing your streams of income, come over to the CW platform. That's that's a period, W period platform on Instagram. And I have a $14 course, and I do one-on-one coaching. I just don't want people to shy away because of fear. Fear robs so many dreams. So you have to overcome it.
That's huge. Thank you. That's really good. A gem that I did pick up from your CW platform page before is something you mentioned about if the first thing you put out is the best looking product, then that means you waited too long. You need to just get into it and put it out there, put out the product, put out your business, put out whatever it is, because it's going to develop and it's going to grow. I mean, that's how we did it here at Mint, our team, as we started. I mean, none of what we're putting out now was exactly the way it looked 2 years ago. And if we waited too long, we wouldn't have been at this level right now to be able to put on a virtual conference. And that goes for anything that people do. So yes, that's one thing I picked up from your platform, and it goes with that. It comes down to fear. And so thanks for sharing that.
It does. And I'm sorry, Dad, I will say this. You're definitely right. I've had a store since May of 2019. Here we are, July, and I have a 6-figure business online simply because I started. And when I did start, I started with a Word document. I couldn't afford a designer. I had literally $100. I purchased a Squarespace account. And from there, I went ahead and I started everything with a Word document. And in my first month, made $3,000 online. So start where you are. Believe me.
Thank you. What about for yourself, Jazmine? Any closing thoughts, things you want to plug out?
Yes, definitely. Just know that you will fail. Yes. And I think it's important for people to know that your favorite finance guru has failed 1,000,000 times over, and I have failed 1,000,000 times over, and you will fail 1,000,000 times over. But do not let failure be the determining factor of your success. Anyone who's successful has failed, and you learn from your failures. You learn what to do and what not to do moving forward. And you will continue to fail in life, period. And I think that's important for people to embrace and accept, because then it's going to encourage you to keep going. You're going to say, okay, you know what? I trashed that budget last month, but this month I'm on it. I don't even care if you failed 3 months in a row. Get back on it and keep going, because eventually you're going to get to a place where you're so successful in your finances that you're going to be able to do it in your sleep. And then it's going to start opening other doors. Once you start building your foundation, then it starts opening up. Okay, well, I'm doing good here. So yeah, let me now move into entrepreneurship, because I just, I sold some stuff on OfferUp, or I had a yard sale and I was able to make $300 in a day. Like, this is the business, So you just it continues to add to your life. So I would just say, start with the foundation, change your mindset, know that you can do it. If you are a single mom with kids, and you don't have childcare or anything, you better start working when your kids go to sleep. You better start working while your kids are napping. you find that time where you can continue to create, because you can do it. Sometimes it's not a lot of time in a day, but you just have to find that time. And so I would definitely want people to know that you will fail, but keep going. It's going to work out for you. And if you would like to find me, you can find me on YouTube, where I have a very intimate relationship with all of my subscribers. I really get to the nitty gritty on YouTube. I share real numbers, how to budget. I share my personal experiences. Like right now, like I said, I'm in transition to purchasing a home. And so now I want to show people how to successfully purchase a home, how to set yourself up in order to be pre-approved for a home. What are some of the things that I had to do? I'm going to be taking them on my journey of looking at homes and just the whole process. And so, how to budget while living with family, how not to blow your budget because you don't have bills, and just things like that. Definitely on Instagram at budget_treasures_, where I share tips and tricks and like snapshots of my journey. And then my new store, my new Etsy shop, where I sell custom premium cash envelopes, and which helps you to budget when using cash. I'm adding new products to the shop every month. I am only open once per month because I am still full-time at my job. I haven't gotten the liberty to quit yet. I'm only open once per weekend. I'm sorry, once per month. But that's where I provide that. I will be launching a planner soon, which Crystal told me I needed to do it by October, so I'm working on it. And let me see, what else do I offer? I think that's. Oh, and I have an ebook. Oh my God, my very first product that I launched, my ebook, and it's only $5, you guys. But I give you the beginning steps of how to even navigate and build your finances. I take you through going into your accounts and creating an audit on your accounts. What are you spending your money on? How can we find money in order for you to budget? Then we go into saving money on your bills and what are some of the things you can cut out. And then chapter 3, we go into sweeping away debt, creating a debt payment plan. And then we go into saving. How can you save? What are some easy ways that you can save? And then 5th is how to create that financial plan for yourself. You always want to have a goal. And so if that plan is, getting your degree so that you can make more money, that's what we need to work on. Or, your side hustle, your business. And so definitely my ebook is only $5. I never changed the price from a sale that I had. And just because I just really wanted people to be able to get those gems at a discounted rate. So, and that is a link on my Instagram.
Awesome. Yeah, we'll make sure if you guys check the conference website, you'll be able to see their links for their social media. And we're gonna have a conference store set up. You guys can check that as well. That'll link you right to all of our panelists' products and things like that as well. So thank you guys for sharing that, and looking forward to people learning more about your journeys through following what you do. So thank you both again for your time. We really appreciate that. It was a fun conversation, and yeah, we're looking forward to everyone getting their finances better, everyone being able to create these 2nd, 3rd, 4th, 5th streams of income. And thank you both.
No problem. We'll
Thank
see
you
you
so
guys
much.
on our TFT tour.
I know, right?
While I'm raising the dead.
With Jesus.
Thank you both.